And that is the Seacock for the manual bilge.
Yeah, so you can actually see that in here.
Hey, how's it going? Back at the boat, and I'm here with my son Will. Say hi, Will.
How's it going?
And we've got to climb the mast because I realized the masthead light is out. So if I try steaming at night, I can't because I don't have the appropriate lights. Okay, the one in front, yeah, that one. But there's one that points down.
Yeah.
That's not the one. That works just fine. It's the one that's, yeah, that one.
It's just a couple of Phillips had to take this whole piece off.
Well, hopefully we don't have to take it all off. Yeah, why don't you pull the bulb out, bring that down, and we'll see what we got. It's one of these odd, I think it's by Signal Industries, but they use these convex type festoon bulbs, which is one of their own. It's like the only company I could find that actually makes them this way. I stand corrected. These are the bulbs that I bought for the running lights. And these are the Signal, Aqua Signal. And these are the odd bulbs, and they're convex, so I got confused. This bulb, which is the masthead light, may actually be at the local West Marine. I may be able to replace that relatively easy. So the cap just spins a little bit and then comes off real nice and easy. But there's going to be an O-ring around this base that we're going to try to find a replacement for because half of it fell off. This is what we came back with, this festoon LED. We're not sure it's quite the same or equivalent to what we have there in terms of brightness, but we're going to give it a go. Good morning. Here we are, Saturday. My son and I are at work. Will is working on the original door to the head. The previous owner just had a curtain up, which was fairly convenient, but I like to give the door a try and see how that functions. It's nice to have all the original equipment in place, in my opinion. One of the big projects I'm working on is with the Seacocks, because most of them are frozen up to a good extent. And so here we are in the engine room, and we've got a Seacock here let's see if I can get this. This is the Seacock right here, and if these don't turn, if this pipe, this hose rather, was to rupture and this was frozen open, you'd basically have a hole right down into the water and your boat would fill with water and sink. So I've been working to free these up. I got this one unfrozen. That seems to work pretty well. I'm working on this one back here, which is a big one, and that's for the cockpit drain. And because it's such a big one, if it were to fail, a lot more water would come in very quickly. There's no leverage, so I'm going to try tapping it a little bit with a hammer if I can, and see if I can free it up that way. Of course, I don't want to break anything because then we will have some flooding on the boat, and that would be terrible. Of course, I can't swing the hammer at all. Yeah, so when you put it together, yeah, probably so. Because it snaps into place. It's probably pretty good. Is that locked up there?
So this sends a bolt through so now it's like it's locked.
So now it's locked.
It's just
and then
right,
this, yeah. All these straps to keep it closed. Yeah, we'll see. We'll deal with it for the rest of the day, and you know, frankly, if it doesn't work very well, then we'll change it.
Oh, this is a horrible spot.
It really is.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you did?
Well, moved a little bit. There's one more working. I'll put it back in the
Okay.
center there. I didn't actually end up touching the other one, so I have no idea comparatively.
Oh. Well, why don't you try them?
Oh yeah, the big one's much harder to turn.
Much harder to turn. Probably because it's probably gets less use. Simply because it's more difficult to get to. And actually, that's a cockpit drain, and there's no reason to close that unless that pipe bursts. I know the light's pretty bad in here. Oh, this isn't bad.
It's not terrible.
No, that's okay.
hope I can close this.
Yeah, seriously.
There we go. Now it's going over these here. Yeah.
It's not great, but oops. It's we got this LED in here, which we saw last night, and it seems to work real well. But we're trying to find the appropriate combination of rubber O-ring gaskets. So I got one on here. It seems to be okay, but we don't think it's quite the right setup. So, but anyways, we're gonna try to put something in there and just to keep the water out a little bit if we can. We may have to revisit this to make sure it's better. We'll got the last Seacock working.
There it is.
Excellent, and that is the Seacock for the manual bilge.
Yeah, so you can actually see that in here. You follow that hose there, goes up around, and there's the kind of manual pump. I'm curious if it actually, like how much water we got out of there just doing that.
Oh, I think maybe just an inch.
It
maybe.
Sounded like a lot of water was going through there.
Mm-hmm. There's still a bit of water.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and do that. I'm curious what it...
All right, hang on. Let me open this thing up just a sec.
Yep.
We're just trying to figure out where the manual bilge pump inlet from the bilge actually exists, because we don't seem to be pumping anything.
Can you, down in there, can you kind of go down in there and point? This one?
It's this big white thing, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that is the old sewage tank that it's going to.
Oh. So this is not an emergency bilge pump at all, which is really concerning.
That, right?
This one up here
is the drain.
is that, yeah, so that's how you would suck it out with a vacuum. But also, so if you're out at sea for a while and you want to evacuate the holding tank, you would use this pump instead.
Huh.
That holding tank is no longer used, so really what we want to do is we want to move this
To the bilge.
holding tank and drop that into the bilge instead, yeah. Now, we're not going to do that now because that's going to be a nasty job. Anyways, okay, well that's good to know. So yeah, we've got to make some design changes. It's okay that this Seacock is actually closed off. Yeah, it opens up some questions about how to lay the boat out with this different the porta potty installed. We do actually have another whale gusher. And this is probably the emergency bilge pump here. And so we're going to look at that a little bit. Yeah, so this is working just fine.
So cause it was, you can see the bottom bilge pump there.
Yeah.
The water was just over the top of that hose.
Oh, it's over the hose. Wow, so that's actually, yeah, good solid couple inches. Excellent. Wow, we are making good progress.
Well, we got this back lock nut loose.
Okay.
Finger loose, right?
Okay,
You can just
yeah.
kind of adjust that. This one, however, it's this whole sleeve. This
Yeah.
piece,
Yeah.
this is all one piece. See how you can see the threads inside there?
Yeah.
This is threaded on to the shaft.
Okay, no big deal. So yeah, we're going to thread it back on, take up some of the slack that we had, about a 1/4 inch of slack, and see how that goes with the regulator once we get the engine started again.
Jeez.
And as you know, I mostly do this stuff single-handed, and it's really nice to have a second set of hands. It really does come in
Handy.
handy. Yeah. Let's see where we are
In terms of
movement. Well,
ready?
all right, so put it back to neutral.
Neutral. Okay, you're in neutral.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's still a ton of play in there.
I mean, it's still not real.
Not real tight, huh? We're in neutral right now. Ready?
Yeah.
Are we there yet?
It's not even moving. There, stop. Go back. There.
Right there? Well, that's not
where it starts engaging.
that's not bad.
So let's go ahead and start it and see what happens. Okay, so let me show you a couple more things here. So you start it with the regulator on full. In this case, it's going to be full reverse.
That's reverse?
This is reverse.
Oh, okay.
and this is the gearbox is disengaged when this is out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Once the engine starts, we'll go ahead and bring this back slowly back toward idle. This is the stop. You pull that lever out to stop the engine.
Okay.
You don't turn the key off. Okay? Actually, turning the key off on a diesel won't do anything. And then this is the push to start. So we'll turn the key to the right. We'll hear a loud sound. That says that the oil pressure is low. There you go. Now push the button and keep it going. There you go.
Jeez. That's rattling.
Yeah, it's a single cylinder engine and a thumper. Motorcycles are the same way. Dirt bikes, they're loud. Well, the two cylinder, they're loud and they rattle a lot. When this is at cruising speed, it's much better. It's still not terribly quiet, unfortunately. It's a small boat. There's no insulation in the engine compartment, so you still get that, but it's not horrible. And now that the engine is started, we want to make sure we look over the edge.
See water coming out?
Yeah, we need to make sure there's cooling water coming out.
I'm not seeing a ton here.
Oh no, okay. There isn't because we didn't open that Kingston cock.
Oh.
Got this open. There we go. So that's working okay.
Yeah, that's gross water.
Well, it's been sitting in there for a month and a half. So now we'll put it in neutral. See, it's even more thumpy now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's running at what? 850 RPM or so?
Yeah. 750?
Well, if you get down on its level, I think you'll see it's closer to 850.
Oh, like 800. Yeah, like right around 800.
Is it? Yeah. So that actually might be a little low.
How do you adjust the idle?
That's a good question.